time. You may start.
Hello everyone, good morning.
Morning.
So we are from group 1 and there are me, Intan Nur Aini.
My name is Satanisha Sabila Ramadhani.
My name is Hadana Sabila.
My name is Alsabila Abris.
And I'm Chayani Julia Solehati.
Before we explanation about our research project, I want to tell you the title of our research paper. And the title is Students' Credibility Evaluation in Digital Environment, a literature-based study. To understand the problem, we will review many research studies from they have been done by the other reliable researchers around the world. Okay, for the first slide, for the first slide is background, and it will explain from me and me as the first speaker. So, about the background. Into this world, internet has changed everything about the student, how to learn and study. When I look around, I see students, include me, we all go to Google or article to check the information for free and use AI to get quick facts, and also play video from YouTube to get knowing explanation and check social media to get news and updates about world. This is very different from 10 and 20 years ago, when students had to go to the library to check and find printed books and journals. Now we are getting online information, just any topic so fastly. And not everything you read on the article not is true, and everything you read on website is not correct or reliable. We live in a time where anyone can make website, anyone can read an article, and popular article, and then there are posts in social media. It means many fake news or wrong information and misleading content online. So this is why learn check information has become more important skills for students. And we call this digital literacy. The ability to find, understand, and evaluate digital information. And next is slide problem. Many students struggle to distinguish between credible and non-credible online sources. It means most students can't tell good information from bad information. And next, studies show the most students rely on superficial clues like design or popularity rather than checking the author's credential or evidence. It means students judge website and the information in wrong way. They just look at the design. If website has good models and professional, they think it must be reliable. Or if many people visit the website and share it information, they assume it must be correct. But this is not right way to check online information quality. And next, lack of formal instruction in schools about how to critically evaluate digital sources. It means schools don't teach students how to evaluate information online properly. the most of school teach students how to search information online, but they don't teach them how to decide the information is reliable or not. So these three problems can make work together create a serious situation. Students be able to students be able students end up believing without students end up students end up the wrong information without realizing it. So the effects from their in understanding um, and um, and they get and they are get hard for their academic performance, and in long term they get less able how to critical think about world in around them. So the next slide is goals. Goals, it will explanation from Atta. Atta,
So-
time is yours.
Our goals in this researchers are threefold. First goals is to suggest educational strategies that can improve students' critical evaluation abilities. And the second is to understand how students currently assess online information. And the last is to highlight the importance of credibility evaluation as a key digital literacy skill. So let's next to the methodology. In methodology, we will explain about population and sample data collection techniques and how we analyze the data. So for populations, this study based on the literature review. So the populations consist of previous research articles and studies related to students' capability or credibility evaluations in digital environments. The sample includes key studies that focus on adolescents and young adults, especially those examining digital literacy and source evaluation skills. And let me make it simple. So since this is literature-based studies, our populations consist of previous research articles related to students' evaluations of digital information. And for the sample, our data were collected by systematically searching academic databases for relevant empirical and conceptual studies. Selection criteria includes research focusing on digital literacy, credibility assessment, and studies using validated instrument or established models. Various types of digital content were considered, such as blogs, news article, and advert and social media posts. And for the sample, the sample. The sample focuses especially on key studies involving adolescents and young adults, particularly in the context of digital literacy and source evaluation skills. So next, the materials will continue with Adana.
Okay, the next is data collection techniques. Then in this research, we use a method that called thematic scientists to collect the data, and then this means that we look at the several published studies that talk about the student evaluate the credibility of the online information, and then from these studies, we select that the one that were most relevant to our research paper, and then in this research paper, we focus on collecting the important parts of each study. Like we focus on the first, the main finding or what the study discovered, and then the second is we focus that the method that we use, and then the last one is the educational implication from this method. And then by organizing this information, we could better understand what has already been. And then next is for data analysis. For data analysis, after collecting the data, we analyze it using the thematic scientists, and then this approach help us to identify the common patterns and ideas. And then, for example, we look at the how student divide whether online information is trustworthy or not. And then the second is what strategies that we use or they use to looking at the website or who shared the link. And then the last one is what kind of the teaching methods that can help them improve to evaluation the information. And then by comparing these themes across the different studies, we are able to develop a deeper understanding of how students think and about the credibility in digital environment. Okay, next continue with Salsa.
Now I'll explain the finding part. The findings show that many students use simple ways to decide if online information is true or not. For example, they often trust information just because the website look nice or their friend share it to them, but most of them don't really check who wrote the information or if the source is true or not. This can be risky, especially when the content is from blog that try to make people believe something. The results also show the students are better at recognizing information that looks correct, but they still find it hard to notice information that is false or misleading. That's why it's important to teach them to check source carefully so they can improve the critical thinking skill. Now I'll continue with the discussion part. In the discussion, we understand that checking online information is not always simple. Many students still depend too much on how a website looks or how popular it is. But that's not enough, especially when they need to use the information for school or work. That's why teachers need to teach them and how to compare the source, think about who made the content and why they made it. If school include this in different subjects, not just in English or teach class, students will be more ready to face online information in their daily life. The skills are useful not only for school like that. And the next speaker is Khairani Yulia.
Well, from the material that have been presented, we can conclude that although students engage actively and confidently in digital settings, their capacity to assess the credibility of sources often depends on superficial indicators like design and popularity instead of academic criteria such as supporting evidence or the expertise of the author. This review shows that students often rely on simple cues like website design and peer opinions rather than carefully checking sources. While these strategies may work in daily life, they are not enough for academic needs. Digital literacy education should focus on developing students' critical thinking and interpretive skills, not just mechanical checks. Studies from various regions, including Southeast Asia, indicate that using checklists alone is insufficient. The research makes one thing clear. Teaching digital literacy is not just about checking notes. It's about helping students think critically, ask the right questions, and understand checking the author's qualification or the presence of supporting evidence. Similarly, many university students cite sources based on popularity or convenience rather than academic standards.
Okay, after all this time, I would like interest to hear your comments. Please intro when you have any question.
Okay, I just check the time. We still have another 9 minutes. I will ask you some questions. There's something that you didn't explain very clearly from what I uh, understand from your presentation. This is very important, but you didn't mention because you are doing what we call that in academia secondary research, not primary research, because you only analyze what had been done by previous researcher in the research. I know because the time constraint, you don't have enough time to do this. Now, first question, uh, when the study in what is the setting, is it in Indonesia or in others country? And the second question, how big is your data? How many research question? How many publication or journal article that discuss the topic that you analyze? There are two questions on this.
Okay, sir, I'll thank you for the question and I'll answer the first question. For this research paper, we use like eight, nine, eight article and one website. And for this research paper, we took like four article from uh, Finlandia or American, and then we have specific for article like two from Singapore and two from Indonesia.
The second question,
So the second questions we have, we found for us 9 sources, such as 8 articles and one website.
okay. Now you mentioned explicitly uh, student in school. At what level is it in uh, junior high school or senior high school? Because in the level university student will be much different.
Thank you for your question, sir. Uh, for our research paper, we combine the elementary school until senior high school students.
Elementary school,
But from sixth grade.
did you look very carefully to the source of your data when the researchers collect the data? Because you have to be very specified. If the level is different, it creates another problem. Now, if it is in advanced country like in Finland, right? Is it Finland one of the
Yeah.
country? They have been fully equipped with that technology in their school. I think that's not be a problem. But for Indonesia, if we started from senior high school, I think very few school have computer lab or access to the internet. Have you think that part when you try to analyze the data?
Okay, sir. About your question, we research we no we found many problem in the data, but about our topic, we just find the general. We just present it and the general problems.
Yeah, you need to have to create a criteria before you look at your data because they're working in their own research interest, right? And you also have your own research interest because you are using their data. That's the problem. Okay, this is the closing question. What is the most important thing that you have found in your research project? The most important thing. Okay, this is the end of your time. Do you have answer for my question? Yes.
The most interesting, oh, the most interesting, the important that we found from the research paper is our, our teaching digital literacy is not just about checking notes, it's about helping students think critically. ask the right questions, and understand the purpose and quality behind what they read.
Okay, I will read it again because I didn't read your report as a whole. So please upload your final version of your research project. Okay, give them applause. Okay, now close your presentation.
Okay, thank you for your listening our presented. I would appreciate about that. Good morning and see you.
See you.